Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? You guys, first story up, let's talk about Rick Ross. Rick Ross and his team, who decided to go over and cross the border up into Canada. He and his team were at the festival. What was the name of the festival? Hold on, you guys. He was there for the Ignite Music Festival. Okay, they had Rick Ross on the lineup. From what I understand, Rick Ross was able to do his set with no issue, okay? But Rick Ross thought that it would be a key. He thought it would be a little funny tee-hee-hee, ha-ha-ha moment to play Not Like Us to a crowd of Canadians at this music festival. And, Rick Ross fucked around and he found out that day. Now, we know that Not Like Us, which is a mega hit right now, the song of the summer. I mean, they play it like crazy here in Atlanta, which is funny because they rarely play West Coast music out here like that. But that'll just tell you how much of a hit that song is. Not only is it a mega hit, but it's mega disrespectful. Like, if you really sit and listen to the words, it is a very specifically disrespectful song to Drake and his team. I don't know where it is that Rick Ross thought it was smart. I don't know why this man thought that it was smart to go into essentially somebody else's neighborhood and be banging. We don't bang in neighborhoods where it's not ours. Not only that, but you don't have hardly any backup there. I mean, you can't fucking beat up a whole fucking country, So why is it that you thought that it was going to be funny to go there and play the song and that people weren't going to have a reaction to it? You got to understand, just like Miami loves Rick Ross, just like LA loves Kendrick Lamar, just like North Carolina loves J. Cole, just like Atlanta loves Future, just like everybody loves their rapper that comes from their place. They not fixing to let you come in there and just do something like this. Like, you can't go into the hood and be a Crip and it's just you, and you go to the Blood neighborhood and expect everything to go smoothly. All right, and that's pretty much what Rick Ross did. It was stupid. It was a rookie move, and I think that he really underestimated, like maybe the fact that it was a lot of white people there, that he maybe just miscalculated and thought that in Canada that they don't have hood people, that motherfuckers can't fight in Canada like they can in the United States. Like, I don't know what he was going through, but it was just really stupid. Okay, and when you play stupid games, you win what? Stupid prizes. Playing that song, people's emotions get elevated, and it was just sort of like, no nigga, not today. All right. And so yes, they did jump on him. I won't say that he was jumped, okay, but I will say that a lot of people jumped on him because it was a lot of people that was fighting. So it wasn't like it was just a whole group of people on one person, but it was a whole bunch of people that was fighting. But it was clear that he was outnumbered. Okay, and if I was a part of Rick Ross's crew, I'd have been pissed that he put us in that situation because, nigga, we is not in Miami. Like, what are you thinking? Okay? And now they all done got the hell knocked out of them and beat the fuck up, and I'm just talking about laid out. Okay, Rick Ross didn't get the brunt of all that, but his team did. And yeah, I would have been mad. Like, nigga, don't be doing that shit out here. Okay, don't do that shit out here. Everybody is clear. We already know that you and Drake don't get along and all that. Like, don't do that shit. Okay, and Rick Ross, being the street nigga that he claims to be, He should have known that. What he thought was he was gonna do that and just be like, yeah, nigga, I came into your own hood. I came to your own place, and no. Okay? It's white folks out there that can beat ass. It's black folks. It's Asian folks. It is all kind of folks that can beat some ass. It's all kind of folks that's been in the hood. And yeah, they had to learn that day. Okay, so yeah, I didn't feel sorry for him. Okay, when he showed that clip of them getting onto the jet, and he, talking about, hey, let's go get some wing stop. What flavor you want? A couple of them looked like they wanted to say, nigga, fuck you. They was all trying to be good sports for the video and everything, but it was just sort of like, nigga, no. Okay, and then to make matters worse, they then videotaped it and they have put it on social media, and now people is seeing it, commenting on it, and just dumb, just a dumb move, just dumb. And I really like Rick Ross. Okay, he's hilarious to me and everything, but when you do stupid things like this, is what happens. Okay, so yeah, no. And this is part of this lady still walking around trying to get some money. She better not come knock on this window, y'all. Just do not come over here, lady. Anyway, yeah, child, talking about let's go to Wingstop. Nigga, take him to the doctor. Did you guys see how he was, one of them just was getting pow, pow. He was leaned over. He was just pow, pow. I mean, really. Yeah, that shit is not cool. It's not funny or nothing. This is what I was talking about when I was saying that, the artists themselves are not the ones that get hurt. It's usually the fans that get involved, and then it turns into something else. Okay, and so you got social media to thank for that. I always call social media the devil, but you got social media to thank for that, because now everybody just it was stupid. I don't know what else to say, but it was stupid. Now, with all that being said, I feel like Rick Ross has heightened this beef. Now, the beef is pretty hot. Okay, we ain't gonna lie, the beef was already pretty hot. But what I'm saying is that I feel like it is now going to be very extremely hard for Drake to come to Miami, to come to LA. Like, those two places for sure, he just don't need to be in right now. Okay, and it's not even because Rick Ross's people or Kendrick Lamar's people is going to do anything to him, but it's just the people now. Now you have involved the whole country. Okay, now you have involved the fans and feeling like, okay, nigga, you didn't. Okay, now they didn't beat Rick Ross's ass out there in Canada. Okay, come on to LA, and it's like, it shouldn't have gotten to that point, but I don't know. Some people will say it was inevitable it was going to get to that point. But yeah. Now, I don't want to sound like that old person that's preaching to people, because I was watching Uncle Luke, child, and Uncle Luke was going on and on about how Drake shouldn't have liked the post that somebody had posted, saying something along the lines that, Rick Ross, thought he was just gonna come down here and say whatever he was saying, and that nobody was gonna check him about it. Drake liked the post, and Uncle Luke, out of all the people that he was chastising, all the people that was involved, the things that had happened there, he was mad at Drake for liking the post. Now, I can agree with Luke, and I understand what he was saying, but I was just like, okay, Luther King, like, you're not gonna have no words for Rick Ross, who took his ass down there and played that song to fucking begin with, okay? And then, like, you can't just continue to be mad at Drake for laughing at something when really Rick Ross is the one who has inserted himself into the beef with Kendrick and Drake. Inserted himself into the beef with, well, not Kendrick and Drake, but if I remember correctly, inserted himself into the beef with Future and Metro Boomin and Drake. Okay, and then Kendrick being a part of it as well, but like, Rick Ross has inserted himself into that, and you can't just keep on telling Drake that he shouldn't do any. No, none of this shit should have happened. Like, really, if we was gonna take it all the way, we were gonna say nobody should have done it. They should have held back on all these beef tracks. They should have, you know, none of it should have happened, but we here now. We here now. And the song is out, and now people's emotions are getting involved. And now it has elevated to that point where I promise you, Drake he definitely don't need to go to LA. He just definitely don't need to do that. Okay. And shit really need to calm and cool down. Okay. But yeah, you know, when Luke was going on and talking about Biggie and Pac, I was like, oh my God, does that sound like me? Because I don't want to be that old person that is out of touch. But I also want to be that older person that is really letting you guys know that we've seen how these things can really get off track. We've seen how it can really go to two very talented, very necessary and needed people in hip hop are both dead, okay? And all because of this beef that really they weren't responsible for, that was created really truly between Suge and Puffy. And you know, they were kind of the byproducts, or were used to further that beef and trying to elevate their label and all that, you know. So I understand what Luke is saying and everything, but I was just like, oh, shut up. And then he was talking like a preacher. That's why I was like, okay, Luther King. He was like, and so for Drake to say, I was just like, are you gonna spit it out? Yeah, I don't want to be that person. But it is true. Okay, Drake probably could have just held off on liking that comment, but I'm not gonna be mad at Drake. You know, Drake is the brunt of the joke right now. You know, I'm sure he would like for all of this shit to just go away and him not to have to deal with it, because Drake ain't no street nigga, you know. But, you know, he's a man and people's egos get involved in everything. And so we don't need Rick Ross thinking that he could just do something like that. Like, that was really dumb. It was really dumb. And he was lucky that one of them extra hard-hitting white boys didn't whoop his ass, because, child, that's what we didn't need, is to see something like that on social media. I mean, just his crew getting jumped, beat up like that was enough. And look, well, now we got Tia having a lot to say. Okay, sniggling and giggling with Drake on social media. You know, we got 50 Cent, who is eternally petty. You know, hey guys, I was just looking at a video. That brother there with his crew, you know, hopefully that brother, you know, and he's talking, and it's just like, yeah, you took the L on that, and you probably should have. Okay, don't take your ass back over there to Canada, because now it's going to be worse. Okay, now you're going to have people that's really looking out to try to get at you. So stay your ass from over there and quit playing like that, okay? But, you know, with that being said, like, I don't want Drake, I don't never want it to escalate to the points where, you know, but I don't think that it would have if everybody would just stayed in their place. But Rick Ross pushed that envelope, honey. He learned that day. He learned that day. Up here talking about he want to take their ass to the wing stop. Take him to the doctor. They was beating his ass. Yeah, you guys. Anyway, enough about that. Next story. So you guys, I did pretty much listen to the Thee Stallion interview on her being on Club Shay. I did it for you guys, and I looked at the time, and it was only like an hour. At least I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like 50 minutes. The video that I saw was only like an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm assuming that was the whole show. I don't know if that was just a portion or if it was just the whole show, but that was the only reason why I watched, because I was like, I can do that while I'm walking blue. So that's what I did this morning. And so you're welcome. Because y'all know Club Shay, child, the Shay, he's out to Shannon Sharp. He just gets on my child. He just wears my nerve, okay? And he was cracking me. He was, Meg. So I just first, before we get started, I just wanted to say real quick that I always want to be that person that apologizes for a joke that they made. I believe that I could have made the joke and it still would have been funny, but I did use you in the joke, and for that I apologize. Okay? And she was just like, oh, thank you. And then he was like, and then everybody that come on my show, excuse
excuse me. Everybody that come on my show, we do have a toast. So get your drink there. So she get her drink there. He was like, and this is my drink, Shay by La Portier. Not Shay by La Portier, okay? He cracked me up because he be over enunciated. I was like, we did this to Shannon Sharp. We've been making this man say these words that don't need to be said like this because we just been focusing on how crazy he sounds sometimes. But anyway, so I watched the interview. It was definitely not an interview that was going to be messy. It wasn't an interview where you learned anything that you probably didn't already know about Meg. But it was nice to just see Meg being able to sit and laugh with somebody and probably not be on guard, feeling like she got to be talking about, you know, the shit that happened with Tori or the shit that happened with her former best friend or the shit that's going on with Nicki or the shit that's going on with other rappers that try to get in beefs with her. Like, you know, we've heard about that and we know about that kind of stuff. So it was just cool to see her talking about, just letting down her guard and being able to just talk freely without, now I'm sure that her handlers probably told him, like, please, I'll come on the show, but I don't need to be on the show if you're going to be asking me about what I feel about Nicki Minaj and all this. Like, can we move on from that? Okay. So it was very clear that none of that was going to be, as you listen, that was what this interview was not going to be. So that was cool. It was a cool interview, and her just talking about her being an independent artist now and, kind of feeling better about being in control of herself. You can tell that she's matured a lot just from when she first started being well known. Because I won't say that I followed Meg before she became like a household name and everything, but you can still see the growth there. The confidence there, and that's great to see. Okay, Rocky's a girl's girl, so I love to see when women is making it, and I'd love to see more women being able to get along, but I realize how entertainment is. Like I've really had I really had a blinder on with how the entertainment industry is. I've learned a lot, even in these last couple of years. I've been doing this shit for how long, But it was a cool interview. It was just a cool interview, She's talking about her album coming out, and somebody was like, Roxanne, you really got to listen to the album because it's really good and all that. For some reason, like Meg's albums it's not for me. I'm not her target audience. I'm not who she's trying to reach. I think just I'm cool with just the ones that get popular and they play on the radio, but I don't know if her music is something that I would just be having on rotation. I don't listen to none of that. Like I like the Get It Sexy song, but I'm not fixing to sit and listen to Sexy Red. Like if the kids is in the car and somebody put it on, then that's one thing, but that is nothing. None of that is what I'm trying to listen to. Okay, but I can have fun with the girls, we hanging out and shit. Okay, as long as we back at the house before 9, but we having us a good time, and I can dance to those songs and everything. But yeah, their songs are not for me. But I do just like Meg. I like Megan Pete, I should say. Okay, I like her. She just seems like a good girl. Okay. And, bumped her head. I'm not saying perfect, and done some shit that maybe she probably wishes she could have did a little differently. Okay, but it's all a part of learning and growing. And she looks like she's got her head on straight and that she's doing what she needs to do. So, yeah, the interview was cool, you guys. Did you guys watch it? Like I said, what I saw was only an hour long, so I was just like, oh, okay, maybe they was like, bitch, we ain't supposed to be here no 3, but you don't really need to be there that long if you ain't talking about the shit that, all of the negative shit that people probably want to hear about. If you ain't talking about that, honey, that interview ain't gonna be that long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to do my Shannon Sharp, Shay by La Portier. I really want to taste it and see what it's like, okay? She said she has a tequila out. I was like, girl, it's a no-brainer, because they said that, Meg used to like to toss them back, so at least make a few dollars off of it. And I thought it was cute how she was saying that Beyonce and Jay-Z have really helped her, which I already think I think we knew that too. It was clear that they have a heavy hand I mean, she does what she wants to do, but you can tell that they help guide her. Okay, on the low, quiet and shit, but you know that they really like her. So that's it on that, y'all. Y'all let me know what you thought about the Club Shay interview, and we gonna move on to the next. All right, you guys, so I did do a video on the BET Awards, so if you guys haven't seen that, y'all make sure you go and watch it. It's probably not this last video, but the video before that will be the BET Awards, so you guys check that out. So I already told everybody how I felt about the awards and everything, but there's been a little bit of fallout, just a few little things that have happened on the show that I didn't know about when I did the video, so we're going to talk about it now. One of them is the segment that Taraji P. Henson with these roses, okay? And actually, I don't think that I was really watching that section, because remember I told you at some point I had went to the, this woman is really just walking around still asking people, girl, if you don't go somewhere. I think that was the time that I was taking a bath or just had got out the bath or something. So I only saw the very latter end. I saw when Taraji P. Henson handed a rose to the guy that looks like Method Man. Okay. Other than that, I didn't see what else happened. But apparently, in that same segment, she handed a rose to Keith Lee, who is the well-known food critic that goes around and goes to like the, you know, unknown, unheard of kind of restaurants, kind of giving them could very possibly be giving them some shine so that more people will start going to their establishment, you know, if he does give it a good review. And I don't watch Keith Lee, but from what I understand, you know, he is not negative. He really tries to just be truthful and give his experience. And I know that he has a very large following. So the unpopular opinion that I'm about to say is probably not going to rub folks the right way. But I just don't, something about Keith Lee is just in me. I don't. And so I don't really talk much about him because I know that everybody loves him. But something about him, I just can't figure it. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because I don't watch him. And then when I see him on social media, it's always got something negative around it, whether or not he's the reason that it's being something negative. But maybe that is why it's rubbed me. But just hearing his voice, I just be like, scroll. Okay, but if y'all love him, I'm sure he's a good man, and I'm sure he's nice and everything. Okay, so please don't be going off on me. Okay, that's just my opinion. But he does his job, and apparently he does it well because people really love him. Okay, but in this segment, apparently, when Taraji gave him the rose, and she mistook him for somebody else. I still don't know who she mistakenly called him, but when she walked away, he dropped the rose. Okay, and I guess it was caught on camera. And so now people are going back and forth whether or not he should have done that. To me, it was just sort of like, well, I mean, was that necessary? I know he was sitting next to his wife or, you know, his significant other. It just seemed like he could have just handed her the rose if it felt like, you know, and then it just seemed like he was making it deeper because he was like, that rose was not for me. And, you know, I don't want anything that's not for me. And I was just like, why does it have to be all this? You know, but maybe it's all this because other people were making it all this, okay? And maybe if nobody had noticed that he dropped the rose, then it wouldn't have been all that. But it was just sort of like, what you drop the rose for anyway? I mean, the girl didn't mean anything by it. You know, she's doing her thing. Now, he said that he doesn't blame Taraji. And from what I read afterwards, they said that he was actually seated somewhere else. And that production had told him to move to a different area because they wanted him to be in the segment where Taraji was given the rose. Okay. And so that's not where he was seated. He could have just been where the hell he was, because who wants to get moved to another place and then a motherfucker mistakes you for somebody else? Like, yeah, I would have probably felt a way about that too. Okay. But because that's embarrassing. Like, you're on this stage and now somebody is calling you somebody else. Is just sort of like, what? You know, so yeah, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have felt a way about that, because I would have probably had an attitude too. Like, nigga, don't call me so-and-so. But the dropping of the rose to me was unnecessary, and it was going too far. I mean, it wasn't going too far. I mean, it's not that big a deal, okay? But it was just like, I think that because I'm on social media and I always am trying to think like 4 or 5 steps ahead and thinking like, if I say this, then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen. I think that people that are active on social media should be more aware of those kind of things, okay? Because just like Angela, old girl, Angela Run DMC daughter, okay? Her carrying that damn blinged out purse that was in the shape of a gun, that was one thing. But for her to be pointing it at the journalists and the people, the media that was taking pictures of paparazzi and whatever, for her to be pointing it at them, when we know that there's been quite a bit of gun violence in Angela's life. Well, not quite a bit, but her father's son was gunned down, shot here in Atlanta like 16 times. You know, we know that Yo Gotti, which is her boyfriend, his brother was just shot down after they had left a funeral of somebody else that had been killed. Brother shot down and killed. You know, it just was like, girl, you didn't read the room at all on this one. You know, and I've done that before. I've said things and done things that I thought was going to go over so well. I mean, just gone over so well, and then got up here and said or did some shit, and people be like, girl, what? No, why would you say that? Does you know? So now I do try to think about, and you would think that Angela being in the spotlight and being who she is, that she would know that, like, you gotta start thinking about stuff like, if I do this, then this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen, and then I'm gonna look a certain way, you know? Now, if you don't care and you don't give a fuck, that's one thing. But I am definitely one of those people who care. I'm not even going front for you guys. Like, I want people to like me. I know that most people are, I mean, not everybody is going to like me, but I don't want people to, it's important for people to get the real version of me and like me for being a genuine person, okay? And so I hate being misunderstood. I hate it. I hate it so much. And so when I say, even to this day, when I say something in a video and then you guys be like, no, Roxanne, you didn't see and you didn't do this and you didn't. Sometimes those comments really do affect me, because I just be like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Like, wasn't even thinking about that part of it, you know? And some people be like, you just a people pleaser and everything. I'm not really a people pleaser, but those kind of things are important to me. And I don't want to be looked at that. Now, if you just don't like a bitch and you just don't like a bitch, and that's fine too, you know? Everybody ain't gonna like everybody. But if you're not gonna like me, it's not gonna be because I just did some shit so brazenly and just, you know, I try to be aware, and I try to take into consideration people's feelings and all of that, you know. So I understood when she came out and she did the apology video, and then but then when she did the write-up video, I was like, oh, she really upset about. I don't know if I would have done the write-up post where she had to actually write out how she felt about it. But yeah, sometimes you really do have to think about what you do and how that's going to look, you know, for you. Now, don't look like it's worked out negatively for Keith Lee, him dropping the rose. I still see most people are just like, well, you know, she did this and did that. You know, it seems like most people are still on his side. But I'm just giving you that other side that, you know, as social media content creators, like, sometimes you do have to do a little extra, because bottom line is the people that watch you is the people that pay you, and you can't afford to offend your whole audience. I know that some people, that's like their thing. Like, they don't give a fuck. They're going to say whatever the hell they say. And, you know, some people like that and gravitate towards that, but that's not never something that's just not how I am. I'm not going to be a bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to say whatever the fuck. That's not me. So not me, okay? But it is, sometimes it's more lucrative probably to be that way. But yeah, it's just not how I am. So that's the only thing I'm saying. I just wish he didn't drop the rose, because it was just like, look at all this you got. But of course, what they say, more attention, more views on your, you know, on your content, and it can just still help you in a positive way. So, you know, maybe that's what it is. But I was just like, every time I look up, child, there's some Keith Lee on the Let me get off of that because I'm sure y'all got an issue. Next, let's talk about Ray J and Lemuel. Is that how you say his name? Lemuel Plummer, who is the CEO of Zeus. You guys saw that outside of the awards, they got into some sort of fisticuffs. Like, I guess they were having a conversation, and that shit quickly escalated. And next thing you know, there was some pushing and shoving. And then as the security was trying to break them all up, somebody threw a drink on Ray J. So then Ray J goes to the truck, and then he comes back with a bag, and he got his hand in the bag. And, you know, of course, nigga, if you gonna bring a gun to the party, listen, you better be ready to use that shit. Okay? Because that ain't cute. You know, acting like you about to shoot somebody. But, you know, he had this bag, and he was doing all this. And, you know, foolishness, okay? Because you 43 years old, you have so much to lose. Like, you really have a lot to lose, Ray J. You have kids. I still feel like he's going through all this because him and Princess not together no more. But I'm saying he has kids, he has successful businesses, you know, he comes from, you know, a family of talent, and you know, he's talented and he's funny, and you know, he definitely has the business acumen. Like, why are you up here acting like you about to shoot some damn body? Just craziness. All because you were trying to promote your channel, because that's what Plummer is saying. Plummer is saying, you know, he's have a problem. He's trying to bring more attention to his network, you know, much like the Zeus Network that Plummer created, and is doing very well, okay? But Ray J is saying that he's starting his own network. I think it's called Tronics or something like that. And I guess it's going to be built the same way that Zeus is, but just not the same type of negative content. Ray J is saying that Plummer I'm saying Plummer because I can't really say his first name. Is it Lemuel? Child, don't give me the fucking up this man's name, but he's saying that Plummer, he manipulates the women that are on that network, and that he has slept with all of them, and that's the reason why they're on the shows that they're on. Now, I don't know if that's true or false, but that's what Ray J is saying, okay? And that Ray J is so upset about this is that now he has, I guess morally, he feels like there's something wrong with him, so now he is going to sue Plummer for these things. And I was just like, now, why are you this worried about it? Okay, and if the ladies was okay with it, or they wasn't bringing to light or wanting to sue Plummer for sexual harassment or, you know, sexual abuse or whatever, like, why is, you know, so it does feel like Ray J is just using this to try to sway some of the audience that he knows is going to be watching his channel that comes from Zeus as well. Okay, I don't know why we can't watch the Zeus and Tronics, you know, if that's what you want to watch. Like, again, child, who knows? But, you know, Ray J can be very corny when it comes to stuff like this. You know, we all know you from LA and all this, and I mean, maybe even could have some connections with some niggas on the street for real, like that. But why are you out here doing all this? Ray J, cut it the fuck out. Just cut it out. And that Plummer guy, you know, Zeus is not for me at all. I don't watch none of his shows, but he's another, like, don't let people be dragging you into shit like this, and tarnishing your name out there in them streets, you know, just trying to get some clout off of your stuff. Like, you know, maybe it's time for you to be able to walk away. I know it ain't easy all the time, but child, so whatever. Yeah, but that's some of the fallout that happened. Was there something else? That seems like there was something else, but of course I can't remember it right now, and I don't have it in my notes. But so anyway, that was it. That's some of the fallout that happened from BET Awards. I know I'm forgetting something else. Maybe you guys can remind me in the comments, okay? Let me get on to the last story. And then lastly, you guys, because I had to just put this in my computer real fast because I forgot to put it on my notes here. I wanted to say congratulations to the all-star WNBA team that was just announced. I am just so happy, you guys, even with all the controversy and the drama that's been going on with the WNBA, I am still happy to see that these girls are finally getting what they should be getting, which is the attention. People are watching the games. Like Mr. watches the WNBA games all the time. I don't really watch basketball anymore at all, you know, but it is always on in our house, and you know, people are talking about it or more vested. I'm looking at the games, I'm looking at the stands, and I'm seeing way more people than ever, because we used to go to the LA Sparks games and we took the kids a few times when they was little, okay, because we were still living in LA at the time, but it didn't used to be no fucking body there. I mean, I felt like them tickets was $10 and we was down on the floor, okay, but now you see that the stands are full and the women are getting that shine, and it's great. It is great to see. Once they can get through all this bullshit that's going on, you know, with comparing them and being mad that this one is getting more attention than that one and all that. Once we can get through all that, like the WNBA, I have high hopes for them. I really think that it's finally starting to turn for them. No, they're not going to be on the same level as NBA as far as pay is concerned and all that. But I still see good things happening for WNBA that probably... I mean, there has never been like that for them, you know, previously. So good for them. But anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all who's on the new team, on the All-Star team. So we know that Caitlin Clark is going to be on there, and Angel Reese. Those were two that were suggested. And All-Star WNBA team, this is a popularity contest, basically. So whoever is voted for the most, those are the people, as far as I know. I might be wrong. Y'all can correct me. But as far as I know, whoever has the most votes, those are the people that ends up on the team. So, we had Caitlin Clark. We had Angel Reese. We have Aaliyah Boston, Derrica Hamby, Arike. I'm just going to say Arike because I don't want to mess up her last name. I believe she's African. I don't want to mess it up. We have DeWanna Bonner. We have Alicia Gray, Brianna Jones, Jonquil Jones, Kayla McBride, Kelsey Mitchell, and Nika O. Okay, again, another African, I believe. I'm not sure where they're from, but I don't want to mess up the names. Okay, so yeah, that is the team that is going to be playing. We already talked about, you know, the team that's going to the Olympics, so good for them. I'm just happy for them. Like they deserve this. They deserve this. And I know that WNBA, the games are still, like, you can get a WNBA game that's real hot, like the team is hot and everything, and the energy is high, and those are good games to watch. But if everybody is having a bad game day, honey, them WNBA games can still be quite boring. Okay, but that's the same for NBA, but on a whole nother level for the WNBA. So, you know, there's still work to be done and everything. But yeah, I'm glad to see it. You know, sisters are doing it for themselves. Anyway, you guys, what time is? Oh, child, I left. What time did I leave? I guess I did leave. Oh, I need to get off of here. Okay, you guys. Well, congratulations to the team. Go USA. Oh, well, this is All Stars. So, may the best team win. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I'm about to run into Home Goods, take back this plant, and then I'm gonna get on back to work that I'm late from lunch. Don't tell nobody. Okay, we do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.